Hi everyone, in this video about our first reading from The Great Believers, we're going to talk specifically about the artists that Nora has paintings from, interacts with, things that we learn while Fiona is going through her great aunt's work. It'll also include one neighborhood, but I think it'll make sense why when we get there. Again, depending on how much you know about art, you may or may not already know a lot of what I'm going to say. It's nothing, super detailed or insightful, just interesting, I think, to look at this group as a whole. So one that is mentioned is Modigliani, who is really known for elongated faces, right? We see that here, elongated bodies, we see that here. There's kind of this almost ghoulish vibe with the black eyes. The quote that comes up from this in the book is saying the Modiglianis were too abstract to pin to Nora, all sinews and pointed ovals, right? So we get this look is one that she was interacting with a lot. Another one is an artist by the name of Chaim Soutine, who was an expressionist and known for paintings of carcasses. So we see that here, a lot of stuff from butchers. I read somewhere that his neighbors were not a fan of him because he would, hang these carcasses up in his apartment to take paintings of, or to make paintings of. So yeah, again, we get kind of this other ghoulish vibe, right? Or at the same time that the colors are really bright and pretty and intense, there's almost a lack of life behind the eyes here. And so this artist was friends with Modigliani. We're going to see that a lot of these artists are connected to each other, forms this network that Nora was a part of. Another one is Fuhida, right? We have a couple of self-portraits here and then also another famous painting. We see a lot of Japanese influence in the work here, right? Both in terms of what is in the painting as well as the style of the painting. Lots of work with cats. He was also friends with Modigliani and Soutine. We have Kiki de Montparnasse, who also comes up. Her birth name is Alice Prynne. She is somebody who was married to another artist, Man Ray, but posed nude for Fuhida. She was also friends with the same crew. And then this is the neighborhood where a lot of this took place, and this is Montparnasse. She says, I saw that neighborhood and those boys, and I can't tell you how much it reminded me. All my friends in Paris, we were foreigners, flotsam and jetsam. And so we have this retrospective from Nora, who's talking about seeing Boys Town in Chicago and seeing her great nephew interact with people and how much it reminds her of this. And I think this is an important quote because it builds up why we have these parallel timelines. As different as things may seem, they are similar, and as much as one group may think that they are having the first struggle or the first crisis, although it's not all comparable in terms of the level of tragedy it reaches, a lot of the emotions can be shared with other groups in different times as well. And then one more quote about this neighborhood says, in Fiona's mind, Paris was always 1920. It was always Aunt Nora's Paris, all tragic love and tubercular artists, which I think is a really interesting description of it because we have this mix of things that are nice with things that are not nice, to put it in extremely simplistic terms, right? So we have tragic love, tubercular artists, so the beauty of love and artists, but also tragedy and illness, which I think is an important juxtaposition to keep in mind throughout this book as well. And that's it for Nora's artists. Feel free to look up more paintings by them. We'll have a lot more detail come up about their works throughout this novel.